Okay, thank you, Sam. Welcome aboard, folks. Here we go to Your Voice Counts. I was off air last week. It was Easter Sunday. We had a repeat show of Commander Lewis. He was the head of the NSA people that, 25 of his mates were slaughtered aboard the Liberty when the torpedo hit. So it was nice to have him on air again to give his testimony about what happened aboard the USS Liberty and the reasons why. And folks, we have two great guests on the show, and this is a first for me as a father and a daughter team. Gwenyth, Todd, and Mr. Ken Thompson. And if you guys would just hang on just a moment, I have to do this a little bit of USS Liberty business, and we'll get you right on real news, real talk, real people on RBN, because you can't handle the truth. And I must warn you, folks, if you can't handle the truth, you don't need to be listening to this radio show, because all we do is deal in truth. So if you don't want to hear the truth, just go ahead and turn us off. But, folks, the reason I do this radio show, I'm a survivor of the USS Liberty on June 8, 1967, and 34 of my shipmates were slaughtered by the State of Israel, the Zionist State of Israel. 174 others were wounded, including myself. Our ship was torpedoed by 3 torpedo boats. One of the torpedoes had hit us with a torpedo and blew a 40 by 40 foot hole in the starboard side, which instantly murdered 25 of my shipmates. Sailors, some Marines, and one national security agent, Alan Blue. May their souls rest in peace, I pray. Also, the men that served aboard that ship have a very fond affection for the crew of the USS Liberty, as many people do. And I'm not going to let this story die, folks, and that's why I do this radio show. I just will not let it die. No one should be allowed to get by with cold-blooded murder, premeditated murder, as the Zionist State of Israel did, and get by with it. There's no statute of limitations on murder. There just isn't. The saddest part of it, folks, is that our government knew we were under attack by a foreign government, which we didn't know who was attacking us, because they attacked us with jet aircraft that were unmarked. We had no idea who was attacking us. It was the State of Israel. We got a radio distress call into the USS Saratoga, Captain Tully, and USS America, Captain Ingen. They immediately launched rescue aircraft, only to be recalled by President Johnson and McNamara. Now, we didn't know who was attacking us, so how did they know who was attacking us? Johnson said, we're not going to help or defend the USS Liberty. I don't care if it sinks, because I'm not going to embarrass my ally Israel. Well, how did he know it was Israel was attacking us when we didn't? It's kind of a strange story, folks, but it's true. It's just as true as the day is long. So that's why I do this show, and I'll do it as long as John Stadtmiller gives me the honor of doing it on this great radio station. And I want to thank especially Sam today, our producer and board operator extraordinaire. He saved the day for me, I'll guarantee you that. I respect Sam very, very much, as I do all the people on RBN. I just want to thank all of you for giving me the chance to keep the USS Liberty story alive and hope this false flag attack. We'll be right back, folks. We got a little bit of a break here, and we'll be right back. So support your sponsors on RBN. God bless you.
An effective 100% organic nutritional supplement is now available to be shipped out to you rush delivery. Heart and Body Extract is a 100% natural, organic, and wild-crafted formula made out of garlic, hawthorn berries, hawthorn leaves, coleus, motherwort, bilberry, butcher's broom kelp, mistletoe, ginger, and cayenne pepper. It is an excellent formula designed to balance and support the heart and circulatory system. It is extremely effective and starts to work within days. Order your 2-month supply by visiting heartandbody.com or by calling 866-295-5305. 866-295-5305. Take the high road to a long and happy life. heartandbody.com.
Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we have been building our online store. Well, we have been focusing on bringing you the best talk show host in the country. Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we also want our listeners to have products they can use every day and in times of emergency. We have added new products each week to our store. Your support of this network, plus products at the best prices, is a win-win situation. Check out our new store. Go to our website, republicbroadcasting.org, and click on the online store located at the top of our website. Together, we can continue to grow RBN and help our listeners prepare for the future. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and click on our online store or call us at 1-877-605-9200.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
They said that Israeli forces knew not of the Liberty's true identity, and so they took advantage of her serenity. They attacked the silent ship.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome forward again to Your Voice Counts. And I'll tell you what, this is my honor today on this beautiful Sunday in the great state of Colorado to have two guests like I have on the line, and we're going to get to them in just a second. Gwenyth Todd and her father, Ken Thompson. You know, I've been fortunate enough on this radio show to have CIA, FBI, national security agent people, senators, congressmen, you name it. They've come on this radio show to tell the truth, to get the word out. God bless them for that. But I'll tell you, these two people right here are at the very top of the list of great guests I've had on my radio show, and I couldn't be prouder of that. But I also have to thank my very, very, very dear friend, Kat Faber, for being the producer of my radio show, Your Voice Counts. She gets the guests. That's her voice you hear. Beautiful songs that she has written and sung, all on behalf of remembering the crew of the USS Liberty. An angel sent from heaven, no doubt. And I certainly appreciate Kat and her work, and that will never be forgotten. Without her, I don't think I could do the radio show. Also, I want to thank my good friend Ron Kukul, a fellow shipmate. He was a national security personnel aboard the ship. He just barely got out of the torpedo spaces, and he was in charge of body identification and recovery when we entered Malta on the 14th of June. So that's pretty much it. I got to pump a couple books here. First, I want to talk about Michael Collins Piper. Now, he's a radio host on this program also, and Michael is just a very prolific writer, and he's a smart guy and a dear friend, and in the big sea, I'm just a small fish on this radio station when it comes to Michael Collins Piper, a very respected, honest, truthful man, and I've known him for years, and he's dear to my heart. And his new book is Ye Shall Know the Truth. 101 books American nationalists need to be read and understood before they burn them. And if you want to get Michael Collins Piper's book, just go to write him at P.O. Box 15728, Washington, D.C. 2003. Michael Collins Piper, P.O. Box 15728, Washington, D.C. 20003. I tell you, folks, you got to get this book. And if you just even want to send a donation to Mike to keep his great work going, I'd appreciate it very, very much. Now, to my book, What I Saw That Day. If you want to order my book, just go to 888-698-8706. That's 888-698-8706. What I Saw That Day. And we're in our third printing right now, so that's not too bad. Very proud of that. I wanted to say a little bit about my guests before they come on, and that their bios are lengthy. And I tell you, I was reading them over and over and over, and I tell you, sometimes, folks, I wish we had more women running this country, like Mrs. Todd, because we would not be in the wars that we're in right now. She saved us. This woman saved us with great harm to her and her career. But she saved many, many lives, folks, and you can take that to the bank. And God bless her. And we're not in a war with Iran right now because of her. She worked directly for President Clinton. And, the boys, the good old boys couldn't quite get along with what she was telling them. She was telling them the truth. And, she focused on Turkey, Iran, and Iraq, and Libya. And she worked, like I said, for President Clinton. And she said a few things about the Israeli lobby, ADL, AIPAC, those type of people that certainly, if you say anything bad about them, they will certainly try to ruin your career or even take your life, like they tried to mine. I've had my lug nuts taken, loosened on several of my vehicles, and almost crashed and killed myself and my son. You can go after me, but not my family. But that's what happened to me. And she lives in a foreign country right now, a beautiful country. I've been there before, and I'm not even going to say it over the phone, not unless she wants to. But their bios are so long that I don't want to take up too much time. But believe me, this woman is a saint, and she is a person that loves America deeply. She's had things done to her. Flattened her tires. They put a venomous snake on her doorstep, and things like that to intimidate her. Her cameras were mysteriously stopped minutes before the snake appeared on her doorsteps. Think about it, folks. You talk about intimidation, all because she told the truth about the Zionist state of Israel. And her dad, Ken Thompson, he was born in Key West and joined the U.S. Navy after graduating from Harvard University, where he met his wife. So Gwenyth, that's Gwenyth's mother, of course. And he was in the Navy. He was a Swabi like me, and he served aboard the USS Minesweeper, USS Fearless. That's a great name, like the USS Liberty. And he went into work for the government, diplomatic corps, and became a contractor for the Department of State, and he's just done so much. And he happened to be in Malta at the very time our ship pulled in, and Ken can tell you firsthand exactly what he saw on our ship and the damage it sustained, and how we stayed afloat. Only God knows. praise God for that. And Ken and Gwenyth, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being on Your Voice Counts, and what does bring you on Your Voice Counts. And either one of you can start out. And listen, you can break in and talk to each other however you want to do it. There's no set rules on this show. So who wants to start out?
I'll tell you, this is Ken. Why don't I let Gwenyth start?
Go ahead.
Because he actually...
Gwenyth?
I was going to suggest that my father start out, because I think he's got the beginning of the story better down than I do.
Okay, let's go with Ken then. Ken, go ahead, please.
Okay, thanks, Phil. I was a consular officer in Malta in 1967. We'd arrived there in February, so I was, by the time the Liberty incident happened, actually the incident catastrophe happened, we'd only been there a few months. And at the time, I had just finished handling, among other duties, ship clearances. We didn't have a naval attaché, and this was a small, 5-person embassy, so we did everything. And I had routinely visited and cleared in various carriers and carrier groups. In fact, we'd had the America with Captain Engen and Admiral Geis on around that time. I don't have a timeline, but we were quite familiar with all the things that were going on. Then we received a message saying, just out of the blue, we knew that the Israeli war, 7-day war, had started. But in those days, if you recall, communications were not good. There was no internet. There was no regular service. And when you were in Malta, you were literally in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. So that all our information was fragmentary. But we got a message saying that a U.S. Navy ship, the USS Liberty, had been attacked. Severe damage had been inflicted. That they'd blown a hole in the starboard side, and as a result, they wanted to give some privacy to the people who were on board, whose bodies were still showing. So they had another ship escorting it in. It would come into Malta for repairs, and further information would be following later. That was about the extent of what we had. There was no description of what the Liberty really was, what it did, why it was where it was at the time. So when the ship came in, before I actually got to see the ship, we had a team come in from Washington. And at that point, it was Navy and NSA. There were 2 naval officers, Captain Castillo, who was the Navy, he's a senior public information officer for the Navy and Pentagon, I guess, and then Lieutenant Commander Bob Sims, who was his assistant. And then a little bit later, in civilian clothes, a sort of trim Army colonel came in. His name was Colonel Bob Green, and they were the sort of advanced team that came in. There may have been others somewhere else, but these were the ones that I saw. Oddly enough, when they arrived, this embassy was really a tiny operation. It was a few rooms on the 6th floor of a building in Malta. So our waiting room was right in the middle of everything. There was all the consular people applying for visas were there. The couch was enough room for 3 people, and 3 men were sitting on it.
Ken, hold that thought. Please, we have to go to a break. When the music comes, we have to go to a break and support our sponsors on RBN. Again, hold that thought, and thank you, folks, for listening to Real News, Real Talk, Real People on RBN. Do not turn this show off. You're going to learn a lot. God bless you.
I'll hear the bomb again.
As many of you know, natural supplements are fantastic for your body and have 0 side effects. You need to restore your body's natural balance. Terravim strives to carry only the highest quality dietary supplements and natural vitamins that can be beneficial in helping your body recover from the impact of daily stress, allergens, illness, environmental pollution, and the aging process. Why buy from TerraVim? Simple. TerraVim provides a rewards program. Earn $1 for every $10 spent, free health consultations, free shipping on all orders, and an additional 10% discount on every order when you mention the coupon code RBN. Call 866-647-4372. That's 866-647-4372, or go to terravim.com. That's TerraVim.com. TerraVim, the best supplements on Earth.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
Now more than ever, killing many viruses and bacteria in our homes and at work is important. With the flu epidemic running rampant, you need to protect yourself and your family the best you can with purified air. Our air purifiers not only kill many viruses and bacteria in the air, but on surfaces too. Our air purifiers will also kill molds, fungi, mildew, oxidizes chemical fumes and toxic gases, removes dust, pollen, pet odors, and smoke. We have portable units, HVAC and industrial size units. In our homes today, protect your family the best you can by calling 1-877-605-9200 or go to our online store at republicbroadcasting.org. Call today to receive your 10% off and free shipping on any home unit. 1-877-605-9200.
Welcome back, folks. Here we go to Your Voice Counts, and a very, very interesting story Mr. Thompson was talking about. And Ken, the ship that followed us into Malta was the USS Davis 937. Thank God for those guys, or we probably wouldn't be here. They helped very much with the wounded and shoring up the ship. And also, you mentioned Ward Boston. Ward Boston signed off on the Board of Inquiry that the attack was a mistaken identity. And later in his life, he recanted that. He was a Navy pilot and then a lawyer. He said it was the biggest scam in the world, and that all it was to do is to protect the Israelis of cold-blooded murder. And that, you know, he did that before he died. God bless him for that. So please go ahead, Ken.
Well, anyway, the story was getting long. Anyway, to make it short, three men came in from Washington. When the ambassador secretary came out and asked them to identify themselves, first one said he was Captain Castillo, Navy, second one Colonel Green, NSA. Third guy, who no one had ever seen before, stood up, identified himself as one of the network news broadcasters. So from the very beginning, there was awareness of the networks. I don't remember which network it was, but it was the main one, NBC, ABC, one of them. But there was someone there who was very much aware that this was some sort of special mission, simply because of the representation you had. I'll just give the rest of my recollections. I had a chance to visit the ship, I think, the next day, and was absolutely appalled by. I couldn't imagine how any of you had ever survived. The whole deck looked as though it had been turned into a food grater. It looked like from rocket attacks, but it could have just been large caliber ammunition that just tore it all up. So it was hard to walk around without basically cutting yourself. I was allowed to go a couple of steps down into the area that had been sealed off, and it was just seen from the top. It was a nightmare with the smell of diesel, just, everything that you could possibly imagine. Then, walking around the ship, it really looked as though it had been turned into a sieve. I was down there also the day that Admiral Kidd, who was sent out to convene the investigation, carry out the investigation, was there. And I came down under the mistaken impression that maybe I could sit down in the meeting. And when he was getting everybody together, he said, "Who's he?" And when I identified myself, he said, "Out. This is Navy personnel only." So that I wasn't able to find out what went on in that part of it. But later on, Malta was a very active place socially, and we had a very active ambassador. So that he usually had receptions for visiting ships and anyone who came through. And I know that he had a reception for the Liberty survivors, and I'd had a chance there to hear Captain McGonigal describe what had happened and how they'd put out an enormous flag in the midst of all of this. And he said there was absolutely no mistake whatsoever that these were Israelis. This is at the time that they claimed that they couldn't see the identity of the ship. He said, but there was no way they could have missed that. I mean, it was really at that moment that he realized just how serious this was, because having seen the flag, there was now no more excuse. And I think I may be putting words in his mouth, but I think he realized that at that point the easiest thing to do was to get rid of the evidence, which meant all of the ship's crew and the ship itself. And it was only just through a series of probably just good breaks that the Israelis didn't go on as long as they did, because otherwise I think it would have been simply a diving effort to pick up the pieces in the end, and no one would have done anything. Let me stop there for a minute and let Gwenyth get a few words in, so that because I think she has very strong feelings about this as well.
Absolutely, Ken. Thank you for your recollection, and please stay on board, because we got a lot more coming on. And Gwenyth, first of all, I want to thank you, Father, for his service in the United States Navy and being a career diplomat. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank you, Gwenyth, for your service to our country. And we got about 60 seconds before the break, and then we got a long run. So please go ahead, Gwenyth.
Well, yes. Well, when you come back, I'll certainly give you my views on all this. I did not serve in the Navy like my father. I was always a civilian, so I'm not worthy of praise of that level. But I certainly saw the political side of it and the human side of it, and was very lucky to have my family support me, because when I did go up against the Israelis, they came after me with a vengeance, and somebody's still coming after me with a vengeance today as well. So it helps to have brave people willing to step up and support you.
Well, brave. There's no greater word, I guess, to say than honor that is bestowed on you with your heart and soul and trying to get the truth out. And regrettably, you know how powerful AIPAC and ADL is, and ICE and the rest of them, to support the Zionist state of Israel. If they want to come get you, they will do that. They'll try to get you any way they can. But folks, stay tuned. Support your sponsors on RBN. Real news, real talk, real people, because you can't handle the truth. See you in just a minute. Thanks.
And too much time wasted. The walls were coming down. It would be too late for liberty.
You're listening to the Republic Broadcasting Network, because you can handle the truth.
Ground beef, eggs, butter, cheese, soup, sandwiches, strawberries, ice cream, coffee, and more. What do these foods have in common? They all come in storable, long shelf life food for you to save and use in uncertain times. Rather, if it is a meal or a snack, For a family or just yourself, CampingSurvival.com offers a huge variety of storable food for you to be prepared anytime. Go to CampingSurvival.com to order all your food. Eat today, save it for tomorrow, or store it for years to come. CampingSurvival.com sells healthy, nutritious, storable food in number 10 cans and pouches. Order online today at CampingSurvival.com. Use code FREEDOM and receive 5% off. CampingSurvival.com. Remember, save 5% off with code FREEDOM at CampingSurvival.com on all your prepared food needs.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
Time to relax and unwind. What better way to do so than with Santa Barbara bells? For over 25 years, our wind chimes have been helping people to relax and enjoy life. Turn your home environment into a pleasurable experience. From the small overture chime to the large super bass, you will find just the right chime to enjoy. All wood, strings, and cordage are protected for long life, and all parts are rust-proof. You have 10 sizes to choose from. To see and hear more of the chimes, go to SantaBarbaraBells.com or call us at 805-733-1513. Santa Barbara Bells is currently having a springtime sale. Come to the website and save up to 50% on all of our chimes. SantaBarbaraBells.com.
Well, finally, the officials back in Washington.
Welcome back, folks, to Newport's Accounts, and welcome aboard. We have two wonderful guests today, and I'm certainly proud of that. And I just wanted to say, Gwenyth, that as your father was talking about when Admiral Kidd told him to get out of the room, well, Admiral Kidd ordered us, he personally ordered the people in damage control and many others aboard the ship to keep their mouths shut forever, or we would end up in the penitentiary or worse. And I was aboard the USS Liberty approximately 3 years and brought her back from Malta to the United States. And I lost all my faith in our government, and they didn't support us. We were like pieces of trash you could throw out in the ocean. And I might add that when we did put over the only 3 life rafts we had left, the Israeli gunmen shot him out of the water and took one aboard their boat. So, as your father said, they wanted no survivors, and they were going to blame it on an Arab state, and that state would have been the state of Egypt. Egypt would have been bombed into the Stone Age because planes were on the way to do that. But please go ahead. I just had to add that, Gwenyth, and please tell everybody about what you left off with, and in your workings with the President of the United States, President Clinton, please.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I think definitely I can imagine having been in that room with you. I've been in other meetings on other subjects where basically I was told to forget everything I heard, and that if I ever spoke, I would be very, very sorry. So, yes, your story rings very true. I've heard those speeches. I've had the luxury. My father and mother had a family to raise. I have had a family supporting me, and so I did not have the burden that they had. So I was a bit more headstrong. And that's a real luxury, because if I lost my job, I could have gone back home. Most people can't. When I first came to the Pentagon in 1991, there was a safe, and in the bottom drawer was a file called USS Liberty. And I asked the Israeli desk officer about it, and she told me that that was one of the files that was never to be touched or opened or read. And that was as late as 1991. So my curiosity was naturally piqued. I had known basically one of the top guys at AIPAC socially because of my personal contacts with the Turkish government as a graduate student. And I saw him lurking around our offices, and I started to think, wow, this is very interesting. I mean, that there are Israeli advocates just freely wandering through the Pentagon. And when I did various other jobs, but when I went to work at the White House in the later 90s, suddenly I was approached by AIPAC, the Israeli lobby, and I was told by the White House that I needed to make sure that I stayed on top of what AIPAC was doing, because President Clinton wanted to try to improve ties with Iran, and AIPAC was dead set against it. So I went out for lunch frequently with the Israeli lobbyist in question. And this went on the whole time I was there. Now, at the time I was pushing very hard because in addition to the citizens aboard the Liberty, the United States government was selling out the citizens, the victims and their families of Pan Am 103, whom Libya had blown out of the sky. And there too, I had a few meetings where I was called in and told to forget what I had seen. And the corruption was just appalling. I was disgusted when I left the government in 1999. I really had seen too much. And it didn't seem to matter whether it was the Republicans or the Democrats. There were these secrets being kept that the American people deserved to know about. I was out of the government only a few years when September 11th happened. And shortly after that, I was approached by the FBI. And they asked me, since I knew the Israeli lobbyist, one in particular, very well, if I would help them find out who was passing secrets to them. Because they felt that I was in a unique position to do so, and that Israel was pushing very hard to try to drag us into a new war. And there were people in the U.S. government who did not want that to happen, but they weren't getting any support from the White House. At this point, it was George Bush II. So I did. I agreed to do it. And for 3 years, about 2.5 years, I went out almost weekly with one of the top Israeli lobbyists. I wound up being the unofficial mediator in his divorce, which gave me an excuse. I should have realized that things were not going well the first time I went out wearing a wire, because when I came back home, the FBI was supposed to come and pick up the wire, and they couldn't find my apartment, and I lived in the Arlington courthouse. So I suppose I should have been realized right then that perhaps I wasn't dealing with the most competent people, but I think they did their best. We did manage to find out who was passing secrets to the Israelis, at least one of them, and it was a man named Larry Franklin, and he pleaded guilty to it. But unfortunately, he was not going to serve a day in prison until after the trial of the lobbyist was over. And I would have been a key witness in that trial. At the same time, this is 2004, I was asked by a very good admiral in Bahrain to come out and help make sure that Israel and Israeli activists in the United States did not drag us into a new war with Iran using the U.S. Navy by, having an incident in which we provoked the Iranians into shooting at our ship, or even pretended that they'd blown up our ship and blaming it on them. And I was asked to come out as a private contractor because I would be free to speak. And I did it. And it was dangerous. I had no diplomatic immunity. But it was a very important mission, and it worked on numerous occasions. And with help from good people inside the government who shall remain nameless for their own safety, we stopped at least 4 different secret plans that were guaranteed to start a war. And towards the end of my tenure, a new admiral was sent out, and he was clearly not of the same caliber as the other admirals, and he had a different mission, and it was to make sure that America went to war with Iran before George Bush left office. And suddenly I found myself now in Bahrain with an admiral whose agenda was quite explicit. His name was Kevin Cosgriff, and he worked for Admiral Fallon. Admiral Fallon later on came on, I think in Esquire magazine, and claimed that he was a dove and that he was doing everything he could to stop war with Israel. With Iran, sorry. That ran completely counter to everything I observed during my time there, but I'm not in a position to say what he thought. I'm only in a position to say what his minion did and what I stopped. And I can assure you that there was absolutely no sign of anything other than we must attack Iran before the election season for 2008 goes into full swing. And so I quietly went around contacting the right people when asked, and people at the State Department were very, very helpful, but very scared for their jobs. But we thwarted, there was a big episode in May of 2007. And at that point, I think they really were on to me, that Cosgriff and others, that I was the problem. And they needed to get rid of me. They couldn't fire me because I hadn't committed a crime. I'd been ordered, along with all my colleagues, to speak to nobody in Washington about what was being planned out in the Persian Gulf. And I took that as a cue to call Washington and let them know what was being planned in the Persian Gulf. It was done over a secure line. There were no security violations in terms of technical leaking. I didn't leak to the press. I simply called the State Department. And when they found out what was being planned, they actually had to order the U.S. Navy and in the Gulf to back off. And the Admiral was not happy. And the same day that he was forced to back off, 2 FBI agents showed up in my office and started questioning me about a totally separate situation with which I had nothing to do and had to do with my daughter's father, from whom I was no longer connected, or to whom I was no longer connected. But it was the coincidence was not lost on me. And I went quiet for a while. I was put in charge of the daily intelligence report, editing it. I was not an intelligence type. I was force protection and political advice. I know the region, but I would come in at 3 or 4 every morning, and I would file the daily intelligence report, make sure that what the analysts said actually tracked with what made sense. And it was getting very high praise. And it wasn't until December of 2007, my contract was up in January. And I know that the Navy captains there were lobbying to have my contract extended because they wanted me there. And the Admiral was not committing one way or another. And then on December 13th, 2007, the Admiral, who really I rarely saw except in meetings, called me privately into his office and told me there was a threat against U.S. citizens by Iranian-backed Shiites, and I was the only person with the contacts to verify or debunk the threat, and could I help? And it was a task that was totally outside of anything I was authorized to do. But the Admiral told me that it was critical for human life and for American lives, and that even though I would have no protection, I'd be doing my country a great service if I could, find out if this is true. And of course I said I'd do it. So he asked me, he told me to be careful. And that was pretty much the last time I ever saw him. I went out that night. I told his security officer what I was doing, and she said, make sure you report back tonight. I then went and I called the head of naval intelligence out there, and I told him what was going on. And he was shocked because he'd heard nothing about this. He came rushing in, and the Admiral wouldn't see him, and nor would his security officer. And he said to me that he thought this sounded very strange, and I shouldn't go out. But if it were true that we were really being threatened, that I could save lives. So we agonized for a bit. And I said, look, if it'll save lives, I'll go out. And he said, well, if you go out, I'll come in at midnight, and I'll make sure your report is filed immediately. I won't wait for the Admiral to come in to approve it. So I went out that night, and I didn't go, I suppose, where the Admiral thought I was going to go. Turned out to be a setup. Somebody had tipped off the Bahraini police that I was apparently a fired contractor looking to bomb sites in Bahrain. I was approached by undercover police, Ministry of Interior police guys in Bahrain. But I was in a public place, and there was not much they could do. They just shook my hand and introduced themselves. And realizing something was up, I rushed back to the base. But I didn't realize that the U.S. had set me up yet. I just thought that somehow the Bahrainis had decided that I was a threat. When I got to the base, my badges didn't work. And it was just late at night. Fortunately, the people there knew me, and they let me in. And I went up to the intelligence facility, and I typed up my report saying that there was absolutely no threat, and explaining why I believed there was no threat. And after midnight, the Navy captain in charge came in, and he did file my report without checking with the Admiral. So it is in the system that report went through. The next morning, I showed up at the base, and my badges still didn't work. I was greeted at the door by this Navy captain who said, get off the base immediately. He said, I filed your report. It was one of the best I've ever seen. But as soon as the Admiral came in and the security officer, they freaked out. And they were furious that I'd sent it in. And he said, I don't know what's going on, but you need to stay off this base until you find out, because something's very wrong here. And it took me a good year to piece everything together as to what had happened, that I had actually been sent out that night. And the minute I left the Admiral's office, he had signed a letter, or had his chief of staff sign a letter, which no one had seen, including me, or my bosses, saying that my clearance was being suspended. Now, he'd just shown me a top-secret intelligence report, and we have this letter dated the exact same day saying my clearance was suspended. it also said that my colleagues had been notified, and my colleagues had certainly not been notified. So when I found out about this letter and demanded a copy,
Gwenyth, we're going to have some music coming on in just a second, but I'll tell you what, my heart is pounding out of my chest with your testimony. What a woman you are, and I'll tell you we're going to have another break, and we'll get right back to you. But God bless you, ma'am. I'll tell you what, this is just earth-shaking to me, folks. Real news, real talk, real people. RBN, because you can handle the truth. What a story. Be right back.
Aerial spraying, chemtrails, the modified atmosphere, heavy metals and pesticides, carcinogens and chemical fibers all falling from the sky. You have a choice to keep your body clean. Detoxify with microplant powder from hempusa.org or call 908-691-2608. It's odorless and tasteless and used in any liquid or food. Protect your family now with microplant powder. Cleaning out heavy metals, parasites, and toxins. Order it now for daily intake and stock it now for long-term storage. Visit hempusa.org or call 908-691-2608 today.
Time to relax and unwind. What better way to do so than with Santa Barbara bells? For over 25 years, our wind chimes have been helping people to relax and enjoy life. Turn your home environment into a pleasurable experience. From the small overture chime to the large super bass, you will find just the right chime to enjoy. All wood, strings, and cordage are protected for long life, and all parts are rust-proof. You have 10 sizes to choose from. To see and hear more of the chimes, go to santabarbarabells.com or call us at 805-733-1513. Santa Barbara Bells is currently having a springtime sale. Come to the website and save up to 50% on all of our chimes. santabarbarabells.com.
With financial uncertainty circling the globe due to job losses, decline in the housing market, a climate of corruption, bailouts, currency rigging, and unfair competition, many are once more turning to precious metals as the only hedge against the uncertainty of the future. With the U.S. House conducting hearings on proposals to confiscate workers' personal retirement accounts, including 401ks and IRAs, this is the time to secure your assets. Call Republic Trading Group today, 800-691-7898 before this happens, and find out how easy it is to convert your existing IRA and in some instances your 401k plan into real wealth now. Don't let the ravages of hyperinflation caused by the massive increase of fiat currency now flooding world markets affect your retirement account. Call RTG at 800-691-7898 and experience the security and peace of mind that only real gold and silver can offer. That number again is 800-691-7898. Call now.
Well, welcome back, folks. Here we go to Your Voice Counts. We got, about 4 or 5 minutes left, and I wanted to say, Gwenyth, wholeheartedly, I'm just on the edge of my seat with your testimony, and I wanted to say that, my son, one of my sons, fought in Afghanistan, and it did him no favors. He spent 24 months in the Wounded Warrior Program before he got retired out of the Army. And in my belief, in heart of hearts, the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War were all fought for the state of Israel, with the real prize being Iran. And I want to say one more thing.
You're right.
Family.
You're absolutely right.
Family.
I've been told that directly by the Israelis.
Absolutely. I just want to say one more thing. Having family like your father and your mother to support you is just unbelievable. You guys are heroes, and I want to get you back on my show again because 1 hour is not long enough. Please come back on the air. Gwenyth, go ahead and finish your
May I
subject.
say one thing quickly, and that is that, when I had to leave Bahrain, my parents flew out immediately. I mean, I couldn't pack up my house, and my father was terribly ill at the time. And yet my parents were insistent that my daughter and I get out safely and everything packed up. So while I was, packing out, and I hadn't packed out, my father had to go in and have surgery in Bahrain. But, they told him he needed immediate surgery, and he said, no, I'm going to fly with my daughter and granddaughter to Dubai to make sure she gets out of the country safely, and I'll come back later on that afternoon. And my parents did that. They flew us to Dubai, flew back to Bahrain. My father went straight into surgery. So it is not a single-handed effort at all. I mean, family makes all the difference. And I certainly, I'm no braver than anyone else in any of this.
Look what you've done, though, Gwenyth, with your life. You've saved tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives with your beliefs and your sound thoughts and your dedication to the United States of America, not to be pushed around by the Zionist thugs that run our country. Here they are.
I had a great family that allowed me to do it, and friends too.
Well, it's such a fascinating story, and I could go on. I wish this show was 3 or 4 hours long to have you and your father just chit chat back and forth too, because that's the best part of it, because you guys are in tune with each other, and I'm just an outsider, but I'm very, very, very fortunate to have you on board. Your voice counts on this great radio station, RBN, and would you please come back on air with me, both of you? I would appreciate it, Ken and Gwenyth, if you would give me that honor. I will get Kat to get you scheduled.
Oh, of course.
You're very kind. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I'd be delighted. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. And again, thank you for your service to the United States of America aboard the USS Fearless, because I'll tell you what, you got a fearless daughter there that I am so proud of her. And I know
we're very, very proud of her. So
I bet you are, sir. I bet you are. And God bless you, Gwenyth. And I'll tell you what, get some snake bite venom stuff that you can keep by your door, so these people can't intimidate you anymore.
It sounds strange, but a very friendly former Israeli sniper told me a month ago when he heard about the snake, he said, "Are they still doing that? Those people are such idiots. Just silly games."
Okay. Thank you both. God bless you, and may your lives be happy.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank you. I'll get you back on Real Talk, Real People, RBN. And thank you, Sam, one of the best board operators on RBN. See you later, folks. Stress call into the USS Saratoga, Captain Tully, and USS America, Captain Ingen. They immediately launched rescue aircraft only to be recalled by President Johnson and McNamara. Now, we didn't know who was attacking us, so how did they know who was attacking us? Johnson said, we're not going to help or defend the USS Liberty. I don't care if it sinks, because I'm not going to embarrass my ally Israel. Well, how did he know it was Israel was attacking us when we didn't? It's kind of a strange story, folks, but it's true. It's just as true as the day is long. So that's why I do this show, and I'll do it as long as John Stadtmiller gives me the honor of doing it on this great radio station. And I want to thank especially Sam today, our producer and board operator extraordinaire. He saved the day for me, I'll guarantee you that. I respect Sam very, very much, as I do all the people on RBN. I just want to thank all of you. for giving me the chance to keep the USS Liberty story alive and hope this false flag attack. We'll be right back, folks. We got a little bit of a break here, and we'll be right back. So support your sponsors on RBN. God bless you. Survivor of the USS Liberty and on June 8, 1967, and 34 of my shipmates were slaughtered by the State of Israel, the Zionist State of Israel. 174 others were wounded, including myself. Our ship was torpedoed by 3 torpedo boats. One of the torpedoes had hit us with a torpedo and blew a 40 by 40 foot hole in the starboard side, which instantly murdered 25 of my shipmates, sailors, Marines, and one national security agent, Alan Blue. May their souls rest in peace, I pray. Also, the men that served aboard that ship have a very fond affection for the crew of the USS Liberty, as many people do. And I'm not going to let this story die, folks, and that's why I do this radio show. I just will not let it die. No one should be allowed to get by with cold-blooded murder, premeditated murder, as the Zionist State of Israel did, and get by with it. There's no statute of limitations on murder. There just isn't. The saddest part of it, folks, is that our government knew we were under attack by a foreign government, which we didn't know who was attacking us because they attacked us with jet aircraft that were unmarked. We had no idea who was attacking us. It was the State of Israel. We got a radio Okay, thank you, Sam. Welcome aboard, folks. Here we go to Your Voice Counts. I was off air last week. It was Easter Sunday. We had a repeat show of Commander Lewis. He was the head of the NSA people that, 25 of his mates were slaughtered aboard the Liberty when the torpedo hit. So it was nice to have him on air again to give his testimony about what happened aboard the USS Liberty and the reasons why. And folks, we have 2 great guests on the show, and this is a first for me as a father and a daughter team. Gwenyth, Todd, and Mr. Ken Thompson. And if you guys would just hang on just a moment, I have to do this a little bit of USS Liberty business, and we'll get you right on real news, real talk, real people on RBN, because you can't handle the truth. And I must warn you, folks, if you can't handle the truth, you don't need to be listening to this radio show, because all we do is deal in truth. So if you don't want to hear the truth, just go ahead and turn us off. But folks, the reason I do this radio show,
store located at the top of our website. Together, we can continue to grow RBN and help our listeners prepare for the future. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and click on our online store, or call us at 1-877-605-9200.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at libertystickers.com. Again, that's libertystickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
They said that Israeli forces knew not of the Liberty's true identity, and so they took advantage of her serenity.
An effective 100% organic nutritional supplement is now available to be shipped out to you rush delivery. Heart and Body Extract is a 100% natural, organic, and wild-crafted formula made out of garlic, hawthorn berries, hawthorn leaves, coleus, motherwort, bilberry, butcher's broom kelp, mistletoe, ginger, and cayenne pepper. It is an excellent formula designed to balance and support the heart and circulatory system. It is extremely effective and starts to work within days. Order your 2-month supply by visiting heartandbody.com or by calling 866-295-5305. 866-295-5305. Take the high road to a long and happy life. heartandbody.com.
Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we have been building our online store. Well, we have been focusing on bringing you the best talk show host in the country. Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we also want our listeners to have products they can use every day and in times of emergency. We have added new products each week to our store. Your support of this network, plus products at the best prices, is a win-win situation. Check out our new store. Go to our website, republicbroadcasting.org, and click on the online store.